Thank you, friends. Thank you for being here for our Sunday morning Betsuing service. I hope you're all having a lovely morning out there. I'm Reverend Fred Brenion. I speak to you from my home in Yucaipa, California, about 65 miles due east of you. I hope it's a lovely day. And today's a special service, and I was told to keep it short, so this is more of a Dharma pep talk as opposed to a Dharma talk, because at 11 a.m. this morning, Reverend Patty Nakai will be doing her special seminar on gender equality in Buddhism. I think it's a must-to-hear seminar because that's an important issue. So I want to keep things short, so I actually should keep the shortness short and everything. But let me introduce to you my good friend, a little cat. Her name is Pippi Pippin, Pippi after Pippi Longstocking and Pippin from the Lord of the Rings. She's a good Dharma cat. She likes to sit here and listen to me give talks. So I think that in our pets, in the animal realm, they can participate in the Dharma through our acts of kindness and love towards them. They may not understand the words, but they know love when they feel it. They know kindness when they feel it. And they give it right back and then some. So I think that in many ways she's a bodhisattva in training. So I'm very happy that she's here in my life, and as well as her sibling who just walked by, Mary, also a hobbit name and everything. So anyway, without further ado, what I would like to share with you is that Buddhism is simpler than you think. We often are led to think that Buddhism is very complicated. You've got to go through all this learning and training and all these sessions and everything. And really, it's not as hard as you think. You don't need all these books. So they were useful for me and everything. But really, Buddhism is best conveyed through the acts of a friend or a good teacher at a time or a crisis or moment in your life where you get something of the teaching of the Dharma. You may not hear the word Dharma, but something of that Dharma is coming through to you and inspires you to live a little bit more in that light. There's a famous story going back from China in the 9th century. There was a group of scholars who would meet. Most of them were all Buddhists, except for one fellow who was a doubter about it, couldn't understand, why are you guys into Buddhism? What is this enlightenment you talk about? Can you show it to me? And everything. And no, they just kept on with their talks and everything, but he had his own doubts and just laughed at them. But one day, a visiting Chan master, Chan is the form of Zen that was developing in China, which would later come to Japan, where it would then later on be known as Zen Buddhism. And so this Chan master came to visit, and the scoffer said, hey, you're a Chan master, so you must know something. So can you tell me what Buddhism is? And the Chan master said, if it's bad, don't do it. If it's good, do it. Always keep your mind clean. Do not let the bad things happen inside of you. This is all that the Buddha is trying to teach us. Well, the scholar laughed, saying, is that all? Even a 3-year-old kid could say these things. Why is this so important? And the Chan master said, yes, and even a 1-year-old kid can say it, but one 80-year-old person cannot do it. And that struck the scholar silent, gave us something to think about. It's simple, and yet us adults have trouble doing the most basic thing about it and everything. And so what's going on with this? But when we look at this statement, if it is bad, don't do it. Well, yeah, that's sensible enough. Why do we keep doing bad things, though? If it's good, do it. Why do we avoid doing good things and everything? So what's going on? Keep your mind clean. A lot of our things come from the seeds we plant within us or get planted into us and everything. Get those bad seeds out. Don't nurture those. It is that which makes you react in anger or in hate or just life disappointment and everything. Just keep the inside clean. The outside will get clean in its own way and everything. And so it's very simple advice. And when you look at it, the basic core truth of Buddhism can be expressed so easily to a 4-year-old. Somebody wrote this, and let me just share this here for you. This is the kind of lesson that would be taught to our children in Lumbini's garden. If you've never been to Dharma school, maybe you should go to a Dharma school lesson and everything. Much better than listening to me and everything. You'll get a nice story from the teachers and everything, maybe share a cookie or cracker, and then if there's room, you might be able to take a nap and everything. So, I mean, life was good when we were kids. And so here, Buddhism for a 4-year-old. Number one, sometimes people feel sad. And for a lot of kids, feeling sad is really sad. And they're not supposed to feel sad. Kids are supposed to be happy all the time. That's what they're told. And they go out and play, have fun, be happy, and everything. But no, we can't keep happiness all the time. Sometimes things happen. Maybe a friend said something they didn't like, or maybe their pet cat got sick, or whatever it might be, but something sad has happened. And we have to tell young people, it's normal. This is something that happens to all of us. It's all right to be sad when you need to be sad. And we shouldn't make them feel like they have to be happy and smile all the time. That's for us. We're happy if they're happy, and we want them to stay happy and everything, because if they're sad, well, then we gotta do something. All that. So be honest with our kids and with ourselves. Sometimes we feel sad. The second truth, sometimes the thing that makes people sad is not getting something they want or getting something they don't want. We go through this every year with birthdays and Christmas presents. We get something that we wanted and it turned out to be junk. I saw the ads for this thing on a department store TV ad, and oh, I've got to have that toy. I get that toy. And it wasn't what the ad described. It was rather small and dinky and falls apart after a few days of playing and everything. What a downer that is. I got junk for my birthday or for Christmas and everything. Sometimes I got things I didn't want. As a young teen, when I started to grow out a beard, this is late 60s, by the way, for the first time, I got a present of a shaving lotion and a razor, and the hint is shave this thing off, and that's not what I want to do. To my mind, what a waste. They didn't give me a real present, they just gave me an order. This is a gift, this is an edict, or whatever. To hell with that, I don't want that, and everything. So sometimes we get that kind of thing. Oh, but we mean well. But no, you did not mean well, and everything. I'm disappointed. And I'm back to step one, I'm feeling sad, and everything. But yeah, we get what we want, and it's not what it disappoints us. We don't get what we want. Sometimes we get something, and later on, it turns out to be the right thing I needed. I remember I grew to love getting a new bathrobe every year. Yeah, I don't want no clothes. I want books or toys or whatever, but a nice bathrobe to keep you warm was really cool and everything. So, but this is some of the things that go with us. And so we're left with this dilemma. Is there a way out of this whole mess? And yes, the third noble truth. There's a way not to be so sad about not getting what you want or getting something you don't want. And that leads us to step 4. The way is not to think so much about what you want at all. Get out of the give me thing. The presents used to be just an expression of somebody's love or hopes for you, instead of here's a give me list, get me what's on the list. That's what everybody goes through. That's not really what it's all for and everything. And I think we set ourselves up for disappointment and this me. I want me what I want. So Don't try not to think about what you want, but instead think about how you can be kind and helpful to your family, your teachers, your friends, other people, animals, bugs, and everything that lives. Um, that's a positive way to deal with this truth, to turn us from our inward me to being, oh, what can I do that would be nice for somebody else? I remember somewhere in my teen period, parents went out for marketing or whatever, and there were the dirty dishes, and I thought, oh, why not? And I went and did the dishes. I found I liked doing the dishes. I did it well. And they didn't really say anything about it, but I was just happy it was done. Made life a little easier for my mother and everything. And so think about these other things, other ways about that turns you away and leads you to a better sense of happiness, that you did something kind. Just what that Chan Master said, if it is good, do it. As the Dalai Lama said, be kind. That's it, just be kind. Shinran teaches us the same thing. He simplifies Buddhism to these two things, to trust in the primal vow and to say the Nembutsu. This primal vow, or the purpose of the cosmos, or the universe, or the desire of everyone for you, is to be accepted. Our inmost desire is to be accepted by my family members, to be accepted by this little cat here, to be accepted by all of you and everyone I meet, to be embraced and to be accepted as I am. Not to put up an act or a facade, but just here I am. I have all these things, all these problems. I could be sad, disappointed, but yet I could also be kind. And just to be embraced is enough to get me going in that. And in reflecting on this gift of being embraced, of realizing that no matter what, I'm embraced. I'm accepted as I am. I express myself through what we call the Nembutsu, Nambu Amida Butsu, which means I take refuge in the Buddha or in the awakening or the awakener of infinite wisdom and compassion. I often now say it in the past tense. I have been given refuge, because taking refuge is sort of a short power, self-power kind of thing. But the amazement that even before I've asked, I have been given what I really need. I have been given refuge. I've been accepted as I am. We're just waiting for me to wake up to this and everything, but I've been given what I really, truly needed. It took me long enough to realize that. And so this is the heart of, I think, of Shinran's teachings. And so it is given to us. So simple. So simple. And yet we write all these volumes and articles about Shinran, and what did he really mean? The Gyogyo should show how this goes. And the people came to visit him, and what did Shinran say? You'll want to learn an answer. Go to the universities at Nara or Mount Hiei. They'll give you the big answer that you're craving. All I got to give you is accept the acceptance, the power of the vow, the vow that you are accepted no matter what, and express yourself through Namu Amida Butsu. That is the heart and summation of Buddhism for us. And so that's all I got to say, just to keep things simple. There's an acronym in recovery literature, keep it simple, stupid. KISS. I think that's a good acronym. I think in Buddhism and Jodo Shinshu, we should keep it simple, because it is. It is. What more do we need? And so I thank you for listening and for being here, and enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy the seminar, and just enjoy yourself as you are, accepted as you are right now. Nama Amida Butsu, Nama Amida Butsu, Nama Amida Butsu. Thank you, friends.